Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Today I've got a quick one. Well, it's quick, but also there's a bit of drying time involved, so it's quick to do if you've got to nip out somewhere, and then when you come back you can finish it off. So let's do the first part. 7 envelopes, what we call here DL envelopes. I don't know if they're called DL envelopes in the States, but they're called DL envelopes here. And these are self-seal ones. There we go. The next thing we're going to do is we're just going to trim off the ends. Right, so that's where we've got to. We've got the ends cut off, so they're now a tube. Oh, made a mess of that, didn't I? That's okay. Right, so the next thing we need to do is I'm going to stencil all these, and I'm just using this stencil, and I'm going to use this washi tape later on, so I wanted to use colours that would kind of go with that washi tape. So I'm going to use this colour here, which is a Crafter's Choice acrylic paint, and it's bright red, but it's kind of got a bit of an orangey hue to it. And I'm going to use Crafts Artist all-purpose acrylic paint in linen, and I'm going to add equal quantities of that, or thereabouts. Mix them together, and I'm hoping that that produces the kind of peachy colour I'm looking for. If it's a bit pink, which it is at the moment, let's see, I can always add a bit of yellow to it. That's better. That's the kind of colour I was looking for. So I didn't want the pinky peach, I wanted the peachy peach, if that makes sense. Right, so I'm just using a sponge, and I'm just going to dab this all on, and I'm not bothered if it doesn't all take. I'm not looking, I just want to cut down on some of the whiteness of it all. Okay, so I've done both sides of all 7 envelopes, and now I'm going to add another layer to those envelopes, and I'm not going to bother cleaning either my palette or my stencil or anything at this stage. I'm just going to add some of this linen. And another wee bit, I think. And I don't mind if there's a, there we go. I don't mind if it ends up with a bit of the peachy coming on top. And I'm just going to make sure they're in a different place than where they were last time, and just add these on, and there'll be a bit of transferring of and that transferring will change, because as I work through them all, there'll be slightly less of the other paint around, and so it'll be paler than it is at the moment. So I'm just, what is right down there? and I'll show you what that looks like, and then I'll get on and do the other 6 and the other sides. Now there you can see that one's not particularly light, but the next one will be lighter because there's less paint on the dauber and on the stencil to mix with the linen colour, and they'll gradually get lighter and lighter, which is what I want. So you've got this gradient going on. Now that's both sides of all the envelopes done twice, and now this is the time when you get a wee bit of space and you can go and make yourself a cup of coffee or whatever and just give them time to dry. Right, so we're dry and we've got 2 coats on each side of each of the envelopes, and some of them are kind of more distinguishable than others just because of the different combinations of the paint. Now if we look at this washi tape, which I'm going to use in a second, the other thing we've got on here is gold dots. We've also got some gold stripes in it, and what I'm going to do now is in clusters of odd numbers, because I'm an odd number freak, with a nice thick gold marker, I'm just going to do dots 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 1, just like that, random dots in the gold all over. And then on each sheet I'm going to also do somewhere 3 lines. So that's 1 2 3, and it might be that way, it might be on this side. Let's do my lines first, because I noticed my dots got in the way of my lines, so let's do my lines first this time. 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. That's me done all these, and I changed it up slightly. I decided to do 5 lines on some of them, and there's one of them actually that ended up with 1 line, just because there it's there, 1 thick line, just because it did. In fact, I'm now wondering whether I should have made that line longer, but we'll leave it as it is. So we've got this far. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some washi tape to strengthen the edges, and we're going to put them all the way down the side, and we'll fold it over round about. Now I'm not bothered about it covering up the pattern. As you can see, this is kind of see-through washi tape, and this washi tape don't forget, because this washi tape I can't remember where this washi tape came from, that's what I was trying to say, and then I remembered I hadn't glued it, so I lost my train of thought for a minute. So let's just glue it and stick it down, try and get it halfway, and cut it off there, and fold it over, piece it down, and do any trimming that you need to do. And this is you can get papery ones, and some are more plasticky. If you've got a plasticky one that's more plasticky like this one is, it's really worth running your bulk folder along it. There you go, and it just gives it a nice edge and it ties in with what's going on in the paper. So in one sense it kind of disappears a bit, in another sense it just adds to what's happening on the main bag. So and we want to do that on all of them, both sides of all 7. So I'll be back when I finish doing that. Okay, so that's all of them now washi taped, and that just gives them a bit more strength along the sides. I'm now going to fold them all in half. And you're going to end up with all these pockets, and so that means we need to start gluing them together. And what you're going to do is, in the same place in the center, now the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to put my ruler along there. We have 11 centimeters, so 5.5 is the center. So at 5.5 centimeters on each one, I'm going to put a line of glue down like that. And so what I've done is, between, that's one envelope, and I've stuck the 2 halves together, and then I've stuck it to the next envelope and stuck it to the next envelope, and stuck the 2 halves together and stuck it to the next envelope and stuck it to the next envelope. So you have all these 14, oh, that's where I fixed a bit flap that was loose. So you get 14 pockets now, and there's another one that the flap stuck. Let's just open that out a bit better. There we go. Oh, there's another one. There was a couple of these that had just a wee bit of the flap was sticking up, so I just put a wee bit of glue in, and I'll just make sure that that's all. And because it's decorated, you've actually got pattern on the side as well. Now you could, if you want, do double-sided tape down the centre, but actually something like your art glitter glue 3-in-1 Fabri-Tac will do the trick all by itself. Now you could stop there, but actually we're not going to stop there. We're going to cover it, and we're going to make a cover to go over it, to then have it all nicely covered up. And that's the next stage. So I'm going to, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to leave this open. Oh, that one doesn't seem to have a lot of glue on it. Let's just put a wee bit more glue. That's really just only up at the top there for some reason. Let's just put a wee bit more down on that one. Just check the others. Yeah, don't know why that one missed. As it did. It's sorted now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it open, just because I've got another bit of paint on me. Something somewhere is clearly just not quite dry yet, so I'm just going to leave it open like that to let it dry for a wee minute, for half an hour, half an hour definitely, maybe an hour, just to make sure it is actually, some of the paint was quite thick, and then we'll get on with making a cover for it. Okay, so this has now dried, so we're ready to put it together. And what you need is you need a piece of fabric that is 12 inches or 30.5 centimeters by 4.5 inches, which is 11 centimeters. Is that right? 11 centimeters? 4.5 inches is 11 centimeters, yes. No, it's 11.5 centimeters. Yeah, 11.5 centimeters. So you need 11.5 centimeters by 30.5 centimeters, or 4.5 inches by 12 inches. And this is something I was sent in Iraq. It's this stuff, 12 self-adhesive fabric paper, 12 by 12 self-adhesive fabric paper. It's by Paper Mania Vintage Notes, and it's on one side and the other side is sticky, and all I did was I cut a 9-inch bit and folded it over and stuck it over on itself. So that's done. I want to also though put some, oh yeah, let me show you what's going to happen. We're going to stick this on so that we stick it on the front. You stick it on the back. Don't stick it on the bottom. Leave the bottom alone. We're going to stick it on the back. We're going to leave the bottom unstuck with a wee gap so that there's plenty of space for it to expand. And then we're going to have a fold over flap. But the first thing I want to do is decorate this. And part of that decorating will be the fold over flap. But to start with, I've got some lace and I'm just going to trim the whole thing up and round with lace. Oh, that's not wanting to stick. Okay, is that the fabric that doesn't want to stick? Let's go up a gear. Yep, that's not sticking at all. So let's just wipe that off and let's try Fabri-Tac. Surprised at that. Let's see if this is going to stick. Now this will take a wee bit longer to grab, but let's just, oh no, it's grabbed straight away. So clearly there's something in the Fabri-Tac that works and something in the that's missing in the art glitter glue. What I might do, rather than the lace, I've got this lovely bit of ivory ribbon to wrap round, and I think what I might do is put a bit of that ivory velvet along there. So let's just cut that. Now we need it cut there. So we want to cut it just a wee bit before there, because we can always poke it under the lace. And then if you don't know how to do this, I'll just show you how to do this as well. To stop your ribbon fraying, this seems scary, but honestly it's not. You get a lighter and you're just going to bring it in. You know, with a lighter you can kind of, and you're not doing anything to yourself. That's all. You're not doing it right down. You're just doing it that bit of heat just at the top of the yellow flame, and it will just melt the end. It's not quite melted at all yet. Just keep it moving because you don't want it going black. And then that'll be it. It's kind of, it goes a bit hard when it's melted in, but it won't fray any longer. And we'll stick that across there. That needs to be trimmed a bit better. That's stuck on there now. I think I'd quite like to put something on these two corners. So that would be quite nice, wouldn't it? And I'll maybe put a bead in the centre of it. Find another one that's only got one hole. There we go. Really want a wee gold bead on, seeing I'm using a gold button, don't we? And that then ties in with all the other bits I'm doing. Oop. Not that one. There we go, that's better. Wee gold beads. I want to put on, I'm going to put this on the other side, just so it doesn't pull too much. I'm going to put this on this side, and then it can wrap round. So I'm going to start by sewing this on this ribbon, and what I've got here is a double length, double strand, 2 strands of just sewing thread, nothing special, and I'm just going to put that on because I really knot it, and there we can cut that. I'm going to put, right, okay, now what we need to do is we need to stick this into here, and the first thing I want to do is I want to stick this one on here, and we know that it's not going to stick with I want to have that flush, I want to have this edge flush with that bit of fabric. I'm going to take a pencil because nobody will see this, and I'm just going to mark where it will come to, and then I know where to put my glue. So I'm going to put my glue along there. Let's get this on straight and not talk while I'm doing that. I might have used double-sided tape if I hadn't already had an issue with the art glitter glue, but because the art glitter glue didn't stick, I'm not chancing double-sided tape. Right, and you're not going to do that. This is going to come over and go here, so the best thing to do this time is to glue onto this bit. So looking, it just needs to put over a wee bit. There we go. Just give that a wee push down. It's Fabri-Tex, so it will dry quite quickly, but what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to put a book on top of it and leave it for a bit. Well, here's the finished ephemera. It's got the 2 wee bits of embellishment on here. We have our velvet ribbon and gold button keeping it closed. We've got our lace trim, and then when we open it, we've got our button that just stabilizes the inside. We have all this room for ephemera. You can see the stenciling. You don't need to stencil, you could just paint it, you could stamp it, you could leave it just with your washi tape. If you have the really wide bits of washi tape, then that would cover a lot of that up. The lovely thing about this is you end up with 12 lovely pockets that are nice and easy to see in and get into. You know, sometimes it can be a bit difficult to see and get into, but you end up with, you know, easy to get down there. If you've got a little sticker down the bottom, you can get your whole hand in there and get it out. You've got 12 of those pockets like this, the 2 pockets either end. Because you've stuck them flat on, you could just stick them down and end up with 14 pockets like this, but I prefer to stick them down flat. But that means you've got pockets maybe for some journaling card or tags or something. Either end you've got these kind of flatter pockets to put things in. But I hope you enjoyed this little make, and maybe you'll have a go at it yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Take care of yourself. Remember, keep crafting. Bye for now.